facilitate this ritual that is very near and dear to my heart. Before we go further, I would like for us to take a moment to send out some energy to Australia, where they are still burning. And I know that not only Australia, but there are other countries that have wildfires going too. So I would really like to take this moment to send out some love and some cool, calming rain, good soaking ones. And I'm going to just tone the bowl for a moment as we join together to amplify our energy and send that out to where it really needs to go. Begin to bring your energy back into this room, into this space. Feel yourself supported by the chair, your feet firmly on the ground. And know that you can tap into this ripple effect and this vibration and send it out into the world whenever you feel called. For this is one of the gifts that we each have that we can share so that we can make a difference. And so that we may find a way that we can help. I wanted to acknowledge that some Unity churches may be actually doing the burning bowl today. Some of them will be doing the white stone. So we're all connected at a higher level regardless. And I also would like to point out that this is the Sunday for the more traditional churches where it would be the Feast of Epiphany, which is the celebration of the arrival of the wise men coming to see baby Jesus. And it is the representation of the gifts given to the Christ consciousness. And I find it very appropriate that we have the white stone within that same energy in that same time, because the gifts that were given at that time, metaphysically, into the Christ consciousness, has evolved over time, and so now we receive the gift of our name on our stone, and then we also open ourselves up so that we can take our inner gifts that we have and share them with the world. And so that is part of the Epiphany experience. And for some of you, as you get your name today, this might be your aha moment, and that's what an epiphany is when you realize something that you hadn't before, or you're given the gift of knowing from Creator or connection that you may not have had. So I find that all of these things are very much interconnected and interrelated. And so I'm excited to be able to join in that and be in a place where we have relevance with our everyday lives. And once again, I just want to make sure everybody has a stone that wants one and has a Sharpie marker. Again, I will be giving some background for those who have not participated in this ritual before, and to allow us time to connect with our stones and bond with them. And then we will go into the ritual. And what will happen is we begin talking, you connect to your stone, you may actually start getting some of the vibration, and you might even get the word of your stone, but we're going to go through the process. So we're starting a process. So I would invite you to hold your stones in your hands, And in a little while, I'll invite you to look at it, but I just want you to hold on to your stone as we go throughout this point on, because the stone is a living thing. Many people think they are not, but they are. They carry a very high vibration, and they help us with our healing. They help us with our journey. And so I'm inviting you to hold your stones now so that you can connect with your stone from a higher level, from your soul, from your higher self, and be bonded and infused with that. And that will help you open up into receiving your name. Just want to check in. This is getting rewritten as we go. I just want to make sure I don't miss any of my highlights here. So, I just wanted to know, how are things going for you since we did Burning Bowl last week? Anything bubbling? Anything? Anybody want to share anything? It's okay if you don't. Okay?
I had already intended it and have been gearing up all through December, but my perspective has really changed. It's all in how you look at it.
Wonderful. So we have a changed perspective. I've had a few changes of perspective and a few changes of heart and even opening of heart that I didn't know that I needed to have. Just got a little more clarity on that. Things will continue to bubble up for you as we go into the new year and as we move along beyond today. Be aware, again, of your dreams, of your subtle signs that you get from your guides and from Creator. As I mentioned last week, I often get sound bites from songs so that I will recognize that that is a sign. I tend to do more journaling at this time and more painting and different things that I can do to access the words that I can't always get when my brain is active, so I can really get into the heart. So I just invite you to be aware of what the signs are as we continue with this process, because it will continue over the next couple of weeks. The signs that come to you may be a part of your intentions. I don't use goals. I don't do resolutions because those are really from a lower vibration and they really set you up for failure. And we want to be successful. So I also invite you to look at the word intention, because sometimes that can also be flipped into something that could be lower. So setting the intention and then letting it go without an attachment to an outcome, and being open to how Creator and the universe works with your intention is really the key with that. I'm going to offer you just a brief explanation of the ritual that we are about to partake in. And you can go on to the next slide. Thank you. Okay. This is a ritual that is very, very old, and it actually predates the time of Jesus, but we have reference in the Bible, which is our sacred text. So I wanted to start at that point. During the time that Jesus was teaching, when someone went to prison to serve time for their offenses or was held in bondage of any kind, they were given a white stone when they were released as proof of their freedom. It is because there was not a written, documented language as we have now. And so, if you had something that you could carry with you, this is your sign of your freedom. The white stone is mentioned in the book of Revelations, chapter 2, verse 17. Let anyone who has an ear of the soul listen to what Spirit is saying to the churches. To everyone who conquers, I will give them some hidden manna, and I will give them a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. We've obviously gotten to a place where we have modified this ritual by writing something on here. But again, back in the time when it originated, there weren't pens and Sharpies and glitter gel pens and all of those things. And so this was just all of the symbol of the freedom that they needed to show that they have served and taken and gone through the consequences of their actions and have served their time from bondage. When we look at this from a metaphysical perspective, this refers to a new and higher realization of the I Am, which is the God, Creator, Source present within us all. In the past, when most of us said I am, we were usually thinking of our current opinions of ourselves. Greater realization of I am is much more than an opinion of oneself. It is more of an awareness of our real self, our higher self, our God self. Our real self is so much greater than any opinion that we can ever have of ourselves. It requires our reaching to a higher level of consciousness within ourselves to even bear facing the realization of a real self. This is what the white stone mentioned. In this white stone, or purified state of consciousness, we learn our new spiritual name, an entirely new realization of our true I Am. We gather today newly freed from bondage of the past year, the past decade, the past whatever it is that we left behind last year, and we choose to leave behind even now in this present moment. We began our ritual series last week by doing some forgiveness work. I've still been doing it daily since. You invoke healing, what needs to be healed comes. Forgiveness for ourselves and others as we released all that held us in our prisons of our minds last Sunday during the burning bowl. We did that. Today we will complete this ritual series, and if you were not here last week, it's okay, because this ritual is fine standalone wherever you are in the present moment, and so you are just in the right place in the right divine time right now. So is there anyone who has not overcome some form of adversity? Yeah. So this ritual is for everyone. Is there any adversity that you are seeking to overcome at this point in time? If you'd like to take just a moment to reflect on that and perhaps do some forgiveness or a real brief release on that, I invite you to do that. The promise from God and Creator to you as you overcome adversity is that you will be given new knowledge or some new understanding of God and Creator in the action in your life. Today you are about to receive a new spiritual name to write on your stone. It could be a quality, it could be a phrase, it could be a name. Be open to what comes. It might be a symbol, it might be a picture, it might be a piece of geometry. I don't know what your name will be, but be open and allow whatever that is to come in, because it doesn't help you today. It helps you each day of your journey through this new year. And it is a relationship and a process and a journey with this. And this is one of the qualities and aspects of God that is here to help you and to unearth something in you that you have not been in touch with, that will help you to grow in your spiritual life and in your daily life. This is something about the nature of your being and of your life, which is also another aspect of God that journeys with you, that is reflected in you and is expressed into the outer through you. For those of you who have been doing this for a number of years, you may find that your word builds upon the year before. I know that in my own personal experience, I have a little wall of them now, and each year usually does typically end up working with the energies from the last year. And if this is your first time, then this is going to be a new spiritual foundation for you. Again, I invite you to be open and present and accepting to the name that comes to you, whatever that may be. And just a couple of words of caution. There have been times in years past that I received the word during meditation as I prepared for the service or a couple days in advance. And I thought I had my word, especially when you see on social media, what's your word for the year? What's your word for the year? What's your word for the year? And that's wonderful because that's another piece of your intention setting and your support for the year. But I find that when I know my word in advance, sometimes that's not really the word. So I invite you to be open to another word possibly if you think you already know what it is. Sometimes my word has shown up as a foreign language, so after the service I had to go to Wikipedia to find out how to pronounce it, how to understand it, and what the quality is that it means, and that's okay. That's part of the process and the journey. There have been times that I've been given names that triggered me and frightened me, and I was actually quite scared of the energy and the power of what was being given to me. And it was my opportunity to surrender and open. And the ones that scared me the most were the ones that were the most rewarding years of my journey, because I allowed myself to connect to something that I didn't know about or that I didn't understand. It gave me the opportunity to step into love in every moment, every time I looked at the stone or felt it. So I ask you not to judge what comes up, just allow and receive and say thank you. Use your intuition to develop this relationship with the word that comes and how much research you do. I can go very heady, very logical, and then there's other times that I just really stay in my heart center when working with the stone. Just depends on what your process is. I also would like to share with you that sometimes we hear differently, and we're on different time continuums and times. So we have a time in group together to receive the name. However, some of us process and listen slower, so sometimes you may not get the name of your stone during the ceremony, and that's okay. That has happened to me before, and then I was starting to oh my gosh, I didn't get it. It's okay. Just breathe through and remain open, and I can assure you that if the name doesn't come during the ritual, by the end of the day, you will have your name. And if you're not sure what the name is, you can ask Creator for clarity and ask for it to come in a way with uncertainty and no doubt that this is your spiritual name. And there's another thing that I do. In the shamanic tradition, when trying to discern if something is truly the message from Creator versus ego, ask 3 times. And if the same thing comes up 3 times, you know that that is from Creator. The other thing that I can do, and some of you may be aware of this, is you can do kinetic testing. And this is when I'm really in my head. Just make a round circle, and then you have your finger like this. And then you can start out by saying, my name is PamelaMann, and you can see it's not opening. So that's how I know that's my yes. If I say, my name is Daffy Duck, I cannot keep that closed because it's not truth. So if you are not sure about the name, that is another way that you can test because your energy is not going to lie to you. Right, Christina?
Correct.
So, yes. So I have many different ways to work around the ego so that I know what is truth and what is the voice of Creator. So I invite you to use whatever it is that you need to discern. Again, the other thing before we get ready to start is once you receive your name, if you can please hold the silence so that those that are still in process can have that same quiet, reflective moment, and then I will bring us out of the meditation together. And also, the other thing I wanted to share with you is a lot of time we want to really share what we got because we're so excited about it. However, this is a sacred energy and a sacred power. And you don't want to dilute it, and you don't want to give it away. This is your contract, your connection, your commitment to your spiritual growth with Creator, with God, for this year. So I invite you to discern if the person you share your name with, if this is so that they can support you in this journey of this year with your spiritual name, or is this just because, like I was saying earlier, on social media, what's your name? You want to make sure to give this the proper honor and respect that it has. And you also would like to keep it in a place at home that is also in an appropriate sacred place. I have an altar where I have all of my stones. And then there have been times where I have a little pouch and I will carry my stone in my pocket or in other places on my body. So again, use your intuition and discern how it is that you use the energy and carry that, but remember to not dissipate it and to let that grow and be strong. And have fun with it. That's the biggest thing, is have fun. I know it sounds really serious, but it's a lot of fun. And that's one of the most important things, is just enjoy this journey. All right, so we're ready to begin meditation. And Luke is going to play some music for us as we go along in just a moment. So let us begin by moving from our minds and getting into our hearts, individually and collectively. And let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths. And I invite you to breathe in and out, releasing everything up into this moment. And on each in-breath, go deeper into your heart. And as you continue to be aware of your breathing, I invite you to feel yourselves connecting to the very core of the earth, to the pure white crystalline light that is in the heart and the core of the earth. Moving through the roots of your body that are extending from your feet and your tailbone as you connect to this core of the earth. Breathe in this pure white light and send it up the roots of your body and out of the crown of your head into the universe, connecting to the white light of Creator. And as you breathe the white light of Creator, it moves down to the core of the earth. And there is then an even balanced flow, an energy exchange moving in both directions. As you feel this flow moving through your body, feel it also moving into your heart and opening your heart as you breathe. Let's take a few moments to rest in this divine energy exchange with God, our Creator. into the presence of the stone in your hand. And I invite you to look at it, or if you want to keep your eyes closed, really feel it. Connect with it. Feel its characters. Is it smooth? Is it bumpy? What are the features of this stone that make it uniquely this stone that chose you? And as you connect and resonate with your stone, know that God, our Creator, is saying to each of us who have overcome, I will give them new manna, new inspiration, support, energy, and I will write a new name on a white stone that only they will know. This is your sacred time of connection and focus within. Sacred time and connection with the oneness of God and Creator. And know that you are one with God, and you're always one with God. God wants to reveal something to you today. Holy Spirit, we ask for this word, this new name to be anointed. And we ask that the word or words that you give to each person is specifically chosen for them today. And as the year unfolds, as the commitment to be an instrument for you reveals itself more and more, as our ability to stand strong and not waver, and our spiritual intention for God increases, then we will embody the ideas that God has placed into our hearts. Simply allow yourself to fully open yourself up to this gift and trust it. Don't try to figure it out right now. Ask your ego to stay still a minute and just trust Spirit. When you receive your word, you can write it on your stone with a Sharpie. And as you receive, stay with it in the silence, trusting and knowing that the name or phrase will come, and you don't have to force it. Thank you, God, for a new beginning, a new name, a new me I accept. invite you to begin bringing your presence back into this now moment. Coming back into this space. And I remind you that if you haven't received your name yet, it's okay. It will come. Allow yourself to feel the support of the chair and the floor. Be focused and feel your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a couple deep breaths. Make sure you're fully here. And please affirm with me. Thank you, God, for a new beginning, a new name, a new me. I accept. I wish for each one of you a beautiful, wonderful, wildlessly fun adventure this year. And may this be your best year yet. And may you allow yourself to be open to all of the gifts, the blessings, the joys, the abundance, everything that the Creator has for you. And to remind you that you are the light of the world. You are the Christ. Each and every one of you. Share your gifts, no matter how simple it may be, even if it's just a smile. And I invite you to be in your hearts and know that you are love and you are love able and that you are so loved.